Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In this day, I would like to present my article that will be presented in parallel session on the profunedu International Conference 2021. 2021, I'm sorry. We are analyzed on learners' digital literacy on the online learning during pandemic COVID-19, and we are from Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung. And this paper will be presented by Iful Rahmawati Mega, and the author of the paper are Iful Rahmawati Mega, Yuanita Ayan Asisari, and Widati Amalin Ulfa. Okay, the first of the paper is about introduction. So the background of the paper is about the first coronavirus is a fatal and infectious disease that has had a significant impact on the worldwide area. And based on the coronavirus, that impact on the worldwide area, it also impact an education area. So the school systems implementation saw changes in a variety of areas, including learning activities, which were all forced to take place online. So all of the system teaching and learning process is switched to from face-to-face to online system or online learning. And all formal educational institutions now offer online learning. So that's why online learning here is become the famous way in teaching and learning, especially during coronavirus disease. And also students can use digital technology for learning activities. And online learning and the new technological teaching and learning process bring students and teachers to understand the knowledge of digital learning. So because of the online learning has a huge impact, so we will know more how far the students have the knowledge about the digital literacy itself. And digital learning is supported by the understanding of digital literacy. So the expectation is that the students who are doing or who are joining online learning or using digital learning, so it must be that they have knowledge about the digital literacy. So that we are interested on the digital literacy and also online learning and digital learning. And digital literacy is the capacity to find, to assess, to use, to produce, and use information sensibly using digital media, communication tools, and networks. And also during this pandemic, of course, particularly learning, online learning requires a person's ability to master digital technology equipment with the hope that the individual already possesses digital literacy abilities. Okay, next, the main purpose of our study here is to know how far the students' understanding about the digital literacy facing in their remote learning experience during pandemic COVID-19. And also this study pointed on aspect based on burden about digital literacy. So the first aspect is about basic skill of digital literacy, and the second is about background knowledge of the information, and the third is technology and information skill, and the last is the fourth, the attitudes and also the perspective of users. And we also, during the methodology of the research, this study or this research is classified into descriptive, quantitative, and it investigates to point the digital literacy aspect from Bowden theory that I said before. And the study the participant of this research, it is the higher education students, especially in teaching, training, and education study program, who are joining learning classroom actively. And the participants were assigned with the purpose sampling method, and there were 118 students of teacher training and education study in Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, and the study data were collected with closed questionnaire type, and it analyzed using descriptive statistics. So we just want to know how far the students in FKIP know about the digital literacy based on their experience following the online learning. Okay, and next, based on our research, based on our observation in the field, it found that the first, it is about the basic skill of digital literacy. So the basic skill of digital literacy, we divided into some aspect. The first is about the students' internet accessing. Yeah, there are 40% of students who access the internet more than 5 hours a day. It means that almost all college students in FKIP, in FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung here spend 21% of their time to access the internet. Okay, and the next is based on students joining in online learning. So from the diagram, it reveals that 61.5% of college students are very often joining in online learning. Yeah, it is because most of the learning here delivered by online. Okay, so it can be described from the diagram that the most of college students in FKIP, Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung particularly, are joining online learning during this pandemic COVID-19. And the third, it is about applying online learning media. From the diagram, we know that 52.1% of students are very often applying online learning media. From this result, it can be obtained that most of the students in FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung are using online learning media in the learning process during the pandemic. Yeah, because the teaching and learning process are delivered online, so most of the students also applying online learning media. Yeah, it is found that the most of college students here are master several online learning media, including Zoom meetings, Google Meet, and others. So it illustrates that college students are digitally literate and capable of adapting to changes in the lecturing system, such as the transition from face-to-face to online learning, switching method of the teaching and learning process from face-to-face to online learning. And the next is sharing of file in online learning media. It reveals that students' activities in sharing file from online learning media have a good criteria, because students need to force themselves to study how to operate the learning media so that they can share a file through online media. Okay, so it can be illustrated that more than 80% students have a good attitude towards sharing information with others during online learning. So information that is shared is proper created to academic purposes in the teaching and learning online process. So the file that they share to others, it is an academic files. Yeah, because it relates to teaching and learning online needs. Okay, so from the point one, the aspect of basic knowledge of digital literacy, from the description, it can be shown that college students of FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung have good digital literacy in the aspect of basic skills of digital literacy. The support reasons are almost of the college students in FKIP spend their 20% time a day accessing the internet. And the second is most of the college students in FKIP are joining online learning during this pandemic COVID-19. And the next is college students are digitally literate and capable of adapting to changes in the lecturing system, such as transition from face-to-face to online learning. And more than 80% of students have a good attitude in sharing information to others during online learning. Okay, the next aspect is about the background knowledge of information. From this diagram, it is about the internet search engine. It shows that more than 50% of students understand how to search information in the search engine. This reveals that more than 90%, more than 95% of students are finding information using the search engine on the internet, so that the internet plays a significant role in finding information in education and other disciplines. Okay, the next is about digital references. How the students cite, how the students cite the what we call the information that they need. So all of the students, it means 100% of college students using online references. This illustrates that students' most favorite references are published in online media. It is confirmed that this activity is easy, efficient, and also practical. So the students using digital references to add some more of their information, something like that. And okay, so the discussion is about it can be shown the college students have a good digital literacy in the aspect of background knowledge of information. It is supported that more than 95% of students are finding information using the search engine on the internet, so that the internet plays a significant role in the finding information. Okay. The next aspect is the result of digital literacy in the term of technology and information skills. According to the table, we can see here, according to the table, that the total number of students, there are 72%. It provides useful information about links, a link on official website viewed, and digital material is more frequently read because it is easier to obtain from an Android devices. Students, most of the students would like to read the digital information from the Android devices or laptop, or something that got handy. Okay, the next is screening digital information. Based on the diagram, we know that 60.7% of students are common doing screening. So when they search the information, they also doing screening the information if it is true or not. And then it means that the most pupils, students in the digital era have doing screening information that they receive. And then the next is about confirming digital information. According to this diagram, it was discovered that practically all students do double check or recheck the information they receive. Okay. And then the next is about the trust of online information. Based on the table, it shows that 66.7% of college students are rare trust online information directly. So it relates to the previous slide, because when they search information, when they do search information, they also do screening, and they are not easily trust the information itself, so they need to check and recheck the information first. And then this demonstrates that the college students pick or screen the information they receive. Okay, it is related to the previous slide. And from this description, it can be described that the college students of FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung have a good digital literacy in the term of technology and information skills. And the support discussion are the internet provides useful information about links or official website viewed, and digital materials are more frequently read by students because it is easier to obtain from an Android devices or the handy tools. And most students in the digital era filter the information they receive. They also do filter, they also do double check or recheck, and also the college students pick or screen the information they receive. The last aspect is about the term of attitude and perspective users. So based on the table, the table is about the opening the link and doing citation. It reveals that more than 60% of college students are often opening another link to look for reputable sources. Yeah, it can be concluded that more than 58% of FKIP students have a good attitude and perspective on digital information. So that from the description, it can be shows that the college students of FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung have a good digital literacy in the term of attitude and perspective users. Okay, yeah. Based on the results that have presented in the previous slide, it can be it can be illustrated, it can be showed that the first discussion is about the college students of FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung have a good digital literacy in the aspect of basic skill of digital literacy. It supports it is supported by the reason that almost of the college students of FKIP spend their 21% time a day accessing the internet. And the second is most of the college students in FKIP are joining online learning during this pandemic, and the college students are digitally literate and capable of adapting to changes in the lecturing system, such as transition or switching from face-to-face to online learning. And more than 80% of students have a good attitude in sharing information to others, sharing files, sharing information, sharing academic information during online learning. And the second discussion is that students of FKIP also have digital literacy in the aspect of background knowledge. The support discussion are more than 95% of students are finding information using the search engine on the internet, and then it is sure that internet plays a significant role, in finding information in education and other disciplines. And also 100% of college students using online references. And the third is college students of FKIP have a good digital literacy in the sorry. Okay, let me check first. Oh yeah. In the last sentence it is the third discussion. The third discussion is the college students of FKIP have a good digital literacy in the sum of technology and information skill. The reason is the internet provides useful information about links or official website, and digital material is more frequently read by students because it is easier to obtain from a handy tool or an Android devices, a laptop, or etc. And most students in digital era filter the information they receive. They also do double check or do recheck the information, and also they pick or screen the information that they receive. And the last discussion is the college student also have a good digital literacy in attitude and perspective users. So it means that the students have good attitude in digital literacy and have a good perspective digital literacy as users. The finding discussion are more than 58% of FKIP Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung students have a good attitude and perspective on digital information. Okay, the next step is the conclusion. So based on the result, based on the discussion in the previous slide, we are going to the conclusion. The conclusion is the college students of teacher training and education of Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung have a good digital literacy in the aspect of basic skill of digital literacy, have a good digital literacy in the aspect of background knowledge of information, and also they have a good digital literacy in the term of technology and information skills, as well as a strong attitude and perspective on digital information. Okay, we think enough for the presentation in the parallel session today. So the suggestion and then the question, it will be discussed deeply more. Okay, thank you for the attention from the other participants, from the others audience, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.